2.
Welcome.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Would you sleep with sick women?
I may be pregnant, but I'm still a man.
Spank the unruly ones.
It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous.
I'm gonna ride you till you can't stand up.
Come on, let's go down.
All right, keep your shirt on.
LoveLine's meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Thank you for saying that. It was recently today. Somebody I ran into somebody at a gas station. Said, "Are you really right in the town where I practice medicine? Are you really a doctor?"
Right out in Mayberry?
I hate that.
All right. Do I sound weird to you?
No. Well, not any more than you.
Mike, do I sound weird to me? No. All right. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Mike's at his wit's end. Here, he's just about had it with me in my headstrong ways. All right. As if I wasn't full of myself enough. I'm back from Washington, D.C. Now, we were kind of debating where to talk about this or not. But I decided on the ride in that we needed to talk about it because the show's about talking about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Now, here's what happens. Each year, a lot of the stations we're on have their summer concerts.
Yeah.
And each year, they'd like us to come out and say hi and maybe bring on a band.
Yeah.
This year, I didn't do any of them. Drew doesn't do any of them because Drew says he will do them, but you have to fly Drew, his wife, his 3 kids, an au pair, and they have to dig up one of Drew's deceased aunts, and she has to go on the plane too. Is that part of your contract, Drew?
Just enough to help me take care of the kids.
Right. And Connie can lie on the kids.
But look, to put it in context, I have to spend all my available time with my kids, and if I'm going to go somewhere, they have to come with me.
Right. All right. And so I just respectfully declined this year because things were real busy, and I didn't think it'd be fair to go to one and not go to another. But at the last minute.
Like Thursday night.
Yeah. Wednesday night at midnight, I think, is when the decision was made. Producer Ann told me that the MCA, which has a private jet, and I mean, this thing makes a Learjet look like the Wright brothers plane.
Wow.
Is going there. It's going straight there. They'll give you a hotel, and you're going to have a great time, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, what the F? I'm going. And I went, and I had a great time. And D.C. is a great city, and the fans there are, oh, damn with this chair. I keep kicking this chair. I got to do something with this chair.
We need a camera here for that. We got to have it.
All right. The fans there are great, and I just wanted to share a couple highlights. First things first. Hung out with the Verve Pipe and then in the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones continuously. And I want to marry Dickie now. Dickie and I last night...
He finally consummated.
We went to a gay steakhouse.
Right.
They don't have gay steakhouses out here in L.A.
Right.
I was thinking about this. I swear to God, this was an all-gay... They even only used gay beef.
Was this to get you guys in the mood?
You didn't know that, Drew. They had to have cows that actually hung out with other male cows in order to slaughter them and bring them in. They were that tight about they were that committed to their practice. And I was thinking, they don't have gay steakhouses here in L.A., I don't believe, because it doesn't really, it's not hit with the movement.
Right.
In D.C., they have like regular gay guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like regular Joe Blow.
I see.
I mean Joe Blow. I mean just regular gay guys. And they go out for a steak and have a beer. And then, go home and give the guy a reach around.
Do they have to go to gay institutions?
I don't think so. I didn't see any collars or anything on the guys. I don't think there's a gay steakhouse out here in L.A. I'd like to know.
If there is, we'll hear from them tonight, no doubt.
I will be there. But anyway, hung out with Dickie and the rest of the guys from the Boss Tones. Had a great time. Dickie, because I'm not supposed to say anything about Mountain Dew anymore, because on the plane ride, the GM yelled at me, no more talking about Mountain Dew. So,
and by the way, you've been talking about it so much, I've actually wanted to drink the stuff.
do you see how my reverse psychology works?
I have the taste for it now.
The point is we stopped at a liquor store, and Dickie yelled at one of his guys to run in there and get him a Mountain Dew. So I've at least for Dickie, it's okay. And I love the Dew. Bring it on. All right, that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. What else happened? So those guys were great. I threw up all morning Saturday.
Why?
Started drinking on the plane.
All right. I don't want to hear about it. Okay.
All right. But no. Then here's what I had for dinner. And you know me, I'm not an exotic eater. I had the soft shell crab, which for those of you who don't know what soft shell crab is, it is a crab.
Right.
They take an entire crab, they throw it in some breadcrumbs, and they throw it in a pot of boiling oil, and then they throw it on your plate.
Right.
I mean, this is a crab. I mean, there's like there's a fish hook and a barnacle stuck to it. I don't even think they hose it off or anything. It's just a big fat crab.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really ready for that. But luckily, I'd been drinking on the plane so much, I just, whatever it was, I shoved it in my mouth. And then the other thing I ordered was shrimp tempura.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I love tempura.
Yeah.
You know, they dip it in the stuff, they put it, but it's raw. Have you ever had shrimp tempura?
It's not raw.
Big chunks of tuna. Oh, no, sorry. Not shrimp tuna tempura.
Tuna sashimi is what they gave you.
No, but it had the tempura thing around it.
What?
It had the tempura sauce on it. I'm telling you, Drew. Not the sauce, the bread, the fry stuff. All right, I'm disoriented
Doesn't
here.
it usually cook while it's being fried?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? That's the assumption I was going under when I ordered it. So the point is, I like half a raw yellowtail, and then a bunch of crabs and like a crab intestine and shell and everything, and then I continued drinking, and I made it through the night. But about 7 in the morning, I woke up just heaving.
I got news for you.
And then I was heaving at 7:30.
Had nothing to do with your crab.
Yeah, but Drew, normally when I drink too much, I throw up before I go to bed because I lie down, the bed starts spinning, I get up, I throw up, I go to bed, and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
I woke up at 7:30, I was heaving. I woke up at 8, heaving.
All right.
8:30, heave. 9, guess what?
Heaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
9:30?
Stopped.
Nah, broke wind, then heave. I heaved all the way until 12:30 in the morning.
And when did you have to do the onstage?
The concert starts at 10:30. I'm supposed to go out there. I flew out there for this, and I'm lying in my hotel room just vomiting into a trash can by the side of the bed.
You are all class. Really, you are. I'm so glad you're representing this show.
After like 5 trips to the bathroom, I said, screw this. I'm just throwing up into a trash can.
All right.
I said, if I go an hour without heaving, I'm going to the concert. I made it an hour without heaving, walked in, ran into one of the guys from the Pie Tasters. He said, go to the Boss Tones dressing room, drank a bunch of Gatorade, and ate a bunch of bread, and was fine. And then
the Boss Tones rescue you out of every concert.
they do. And Andy Dick was there.
Oh, no.
Andy Dick did an onstage announcement. Here's what Andy did. He brought out the Verve pipe. Andy Dick dropped his pants. There's a surprise, Drew. Andy showing his penis to 50,000 people.
He always wants to drop his pants.
Yes.
He drops his pants and he puts silly string on his genitalia to like make some sort of like codpiece out of some merkin, out of an orange merkin. A silly string on his crotch, but the silly string is like peeling off it. Maybe he put too much talc or he was sweating too much or something. So he's going out there with his pants around his ankles and this big wad of silly string on his junk, but it's kind of falling off. That's all right.
What color was the silly string?
It was like hot pink.
Hot pink, yeah.
So there's like 50,000 people there. So he was all right.
Andy Dick, too, also just somebody that...
oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so...
all the cards in his deck.
There is what my weekend was. Tara, 14.
Hello?
Hey.
Okay, my situation is... last night I was out with some friends, and I met a guy, and we kind of, like, talked, and after a while we kind of, like, fooled around, and then we were talking, and I told him about something that happened to me, and I got raped, and he was like, well, I don't deal with rape victims, and blah, 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 and then he's like, well, still call me and everything, and I was, like, confused, because he told me that he didn't want to be with me, and then he called me.
How old were you when you were raped?
I was last year.
You were 13.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was my older brother.
Oh, my God. This is not...
Your biological brother?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 15 now.
So you were 13, he was 14?
Yeah.
And there'd
It
been...
happened before that. It just happened about
alright.
6 times.
How old were you when you first started?
8.
Okay.
All right, yeah, because it didn't sound...
This is not rape. This is abuse. This is incest.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody know about this?
Yeah, he's in prison right now.
Okay. What happened to him?
Well, I'm not really sure. My parents don't tell me a lot about it, but he made up excuses like when we moved, we lived in Vegas during one point and for about a year when I was 11, and he said that he had gotten molested by someone and he was trying to take out his anger on me, but it happened before that, so...
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, it's understandable that... Was this a 14-year-old guy you were with?
No, he's 18.
Oh, Tara.
This is a burden for even an 18-year-old, but you shouldn't be burdening 18-year-olds.
But an 18-year-old going out with a 14-year-old is there because he's another part of the abuse cycle. Mm-hmm. He's not concerned with the burden. He's concerned with... that's why he wants you back. Because even though he knows he shouldn't be adding to your problems, which even means he has some vestige of a conscience, the fact is he wants you back because he can't resist abusing, too. He's an abuser. He's 18. She's 14. He's a freshman in college. She's a 8th grade or 9th grader. Okay? Put it in that perspective.
What grade are you in, Tara?
I'm going on 9th.
Going into 9th.
Going into 9th.
That means 8th grade.
And I'm guessing he's not a freshman in college, although chronologically he's eligible.
Uh-huh.
Where's he work?
He works at a drive-in movie theater. That's where I met him.
All right. What's he, concessions or something?
Well, he, serves drinks, and he's, in the lobby.
I would say that would fall under the heading of concession.
Yes, indeed.
All right, so Tara.
Yeah.
Stay away from guys that are, 18 when you're 14. And why did you tell him about your past history so soon?
We were kind of, messing around for a while, and then he was asking me to touch him, and I was like, well, no. And he's like, why not? And I was like, it's a long story. And then he kind of, backed off, and I was like... Okay,
right,
and then he was like, well, tell me, and I was like, I told him.
He has some judgment, something.
I'm guessing he probably just had a cramp or something, though.
Tara, what kind of help have you gotten with all this?
Well, they want me to have family counseling with him, but I don't want to see him again.
How about for yourself?
Well, they won't do it, but I've asked my parents. I've gone to the school counselor. I was, in this group at school, and that's all that I've really had.
Wow.
Geez, Tara, you're pretty far along. I mean, for a 14-year-old, going to groups and trying to get counseling and all that, that's a pretty good instinct.
A tornado coming up over there?
No, I'm
Sounds
outside.
like it. No, I mean, don't you think that's, most people are in denial or they want to brush it off and get married or something? Tara, what? No, I'm trying to give Tara some credit here and say that she's seeking counseling and she's trying to
keep seeking it
and she's being honest and all that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, so stay away from the 18-year-old.
Okay.
Don't go into counseling with your brother. I think that's a very unfortunate thing to suggest.
Yeah, bizarre suggestion.
And seek counseling on your own. And don't walk around as if you're broken. You know what I'm saying, Tara?
But
a lot of stuff happens to a lot of people.
Well, but no, look, this kind of thing has... this is her brother.
Well, she has to take care of it. I'm just saying she doesn't have to walk around with a shadow over her.
She doesn't have to feel bad about herself. It's not that there's anything wrong with her, but she's certainly been through a traumatic past. She must get help. It takes a lot of time. And in the meantime, lay off relationships. You're going to be prone to abusive relationships.
John, 18. John.
Hello?
Hello.
Alrighty then. First of all, I just wanted to compliment you guys because you put on a great show and you really got the young people. I know a lot of people listen to you and just because you give out good advice and you understand what's going on. I don't know what the hell this love phones is or whatever, but I know that she can't hold a candle to you guys.
Well, thank you. I don't think anyone can hold a candle to us.
Oh, Adam is so puffed up after his weekend in Washington.
Drew, I was overinflated before I left.
Yeah, I know
Please,
that.
let's be fair.
Yes, but now it's...
Please, but this is the best damn show on radio.
Goodyear blimp.
It just is. It just is.
Absolutely. And also...
is it you or is it...
It's mostly me. You can be replaced. Yeah.
So should I seek counseling?
Just remember what your grandmother said.
First of all, or secondly, I guess, I wanted to ask if I could if it was at all possible for you guys, everybody there, to take like a group photo and because
That's a good idea. We don't have any group photos.
huh?
It's a good idea. We don't have any group photos, and honest to goodness, the people behind the scenes here is as responsible for what you hear as we are. So
Right. And we've toyed with the idea of a group photo, but Engineer Mike is like, we think he's going to get canned every week, so we keep holding off, and he never gets laid off.
he's gonna bust you in the chops one of these days, so squarely.
Also, I got this. I have like a lot of body hair, and it tends to turn the women off. And the ones that it turns on usually turn out to be kind of wrong in the head.
Huh.
So I was
Where's the hair coming from?
everywhere except for my back right now. But I'm only 18, so I'm not hoping.
Don't worry. I know many a bare-backed man in high school that are looking like Lou Grant now. I gave Ann a little shot of the butt crack the other day on
She's
the way
still
to
talking about it.
Oh, is she?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I love about Ann? When she just gets, there's one thing to be that sort of kidding, hey, ooh, yeah. And then there's like visibly sickened. Ann was like really, truly repulsed. She is no actress.
She talks about it incessantly when something like that has happened, too.
Oh, yeah. She was really nauseated. I thought she was going to sue me. I didn't show her the whole thing. I just pulled the shirt up and gave her a little drop, like maybe just the top, like 3 or 4 inches there. All right, John, what's your nationality?
I'm white, mostly Irish.
Irish. Huh. What's up with that?
Like 3/4 Irish.
And
my great-grandparents moved here. I live in Kansas. My great-grandparents moved here and built a farmhouse, and I've been living here ever since. A little small town, about 900 people.
So you're the third generation on the same farm?
Yeah.
How interesting.
All right, so you're the hairiest Irishman to come to this country.
Absolutely.
All right. Listen, most women hate it. There are a select few that enjoy it. You must find those.
But no. What? Here is really the wondrous thing about women is that they truly, ultimately care about the person. And I've seen many women who say they hate hairy men, who fall in love with a particular person. All of a sudden, that's not an issue for them anymore.
You know what women will do even? They will take flawed parts on you. Like let's say my hairy ass. I've had girlfriends that came to love my hairy ass, even named it. But the point.
What was the name?
I don't know, Drew. I don't have an answer for everything. The point, they never named it, all right? Stop calling me out on everything. The point is this. They were repulsed initially, but because they fell in love with the man and the ass was attached to the man,
that's right.
They learned to love it. Men do not work this way, unfortunately.
This is one of the pieces of evidence that women are actually better humans than men.
Right, that they love my hairy ass, even if it repulses them. Because they love the man.
You don't have to bring everything back to you.
All right, but what I'm saying is if a guy meets a woman and she has some physicality that the guy hates, he will spend the entire relationship wanting her to fix it.
Yes. Yeah, men are pathetic.
They really are. Tawny.
Hello.
27.
Yes. Here's my situation. I have been involved with a man for almost a year. And the situation has been absolutely blissful. I mean, it's been wonderful. But we come from very different backgrounds. He comes from a very...
We are so jaded, Tawny. It's pathetic that as soon as you say that, we look at each other like, okay, there's a real problem here.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was afraid you would say that.
I'm afraid that we say that too, but that's just our jaded experience here. Go ahead.
Well, he comes from a very loving family. His parents have been married 30 years. He's just a very honest, good, hardworking person, very trustworthy.
It's all these rationalized, carefully thought out.
This is the setup.
Yeah.
Now
the reality.
Now the rape story.
Yeah. Let's hear what's actually going on.
The problem is with me. I mean, my background, I come from a very dysfunctional family. I've just been dealt a lot of different cards than he has.
Like what?
Well, my father was an abusive alcoholic.
Right.
Well, my parents divorced when I was 8. My father was an abusive alcoholic. He died when I was 15.
Okay.
My mom was pretty much caught up in her own relationships and her own.
Are you an alcoholic?
I think I have tendencies,
Okay.
but I'm very aware.
That's fine. Okay.
I mean, I'm extremely aware.
You have the gene, as we say.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And now he's driving you crazy because he's too good?
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's not an issue with him. Really, what my problem is this. I mean, there are a lot of things that I've done. I mean, for the background that I come from, I think I've done very well. I've always maintained jobs. I always had a good income, and I'm striving to break the cycle, so to speak.
Of abuse.
Yeah, of abuse and the older I get, the less I understand about my mother as far as raising children. And we're close now. Thou shalt honor thy parents. Love is a whole different thing. But I try to be a good daughter, and I try to be, as good as I can to her. I do hold a little resentment, but I don't think there's room
little
for
resentment.
that. Yeah, but.
Drew is being sarcastic, but that's healthy.
Yeah, you should be furious. You should be enraged.
You're right, but how productive would that be at this point?
But this is Tani. If there's one thing about you, you're way up in your head. Everything is so thought out and detached from your real feelings.
You're right. I mean, I'm extremely analytical.
Oh, but the analytical stuff can.
Tani, don't get analytical about Drew telling you you're analytical.
Being analytical can serve you well, but right now it's a very highly developed defense you're using from having feelings.
You're right.
And it's okay, I mean, because it's serving you well and you're able to be productive with it, but you might want to kind of ease yourself into some feelings too, particularly in regards to this relationship. I mean, you're going to have to really try to figure out what it is you're feeling about this guy.
I love him more than I ever thought I was capable. Seriously.
So what's the problem?
He loves me completely.
But what's the problem?
My problem is there are a lot of things that in the past that I have done because I think of the way I was brought up that I struggle with, and I don't know if I should. I feel like I'm being dishonest with him by not.
What'd you do?
Oh, I mean, I've had I had a bout where I wrote some bad checks, but I paid them off and covered them.
All right. Well, get to the good stuff.
Well,
bad checks. I bounce 3 checks a week.
Well, nothing. But that's unheard of to him. I mean,
Oh, please! I thought you had sex at a biker bar in front of a film crew.
But.
Nothing like that?
No, and
bad checks.
He's in his 3rd year of residency. All
right, listen.
Let me finish, though. And I don't have a college education. It's a lot of little piddly things I realize, but sometimes I think that he would be better served by dating someone else.
Well, he probably would, but he doesn't want to. That's the deal. So he wants to be with you, and there's nothing wrong with you.
Am I being dishonest with him?
No. Here, let me talk to Tani for a second. Tani, here's what you're doing. You're building a case for him not to like you. Please, with the bounced checks. If I date a woman that's not currently incarcerated or has one of those homing beacons on her ankle, I look at that as just she's a virgin.
But look,
she doesn't have the tattooed teardrop. She is pristine. Tani's building a case for her not to like him so that she can work her way right out of the relationship
because
in a self-fulfilling prophecy type situation.
Because it's two. Wait, let me 2 comments. One is that it probably is because this is a good and caring person that you can't tolerate this. You have to get out of it because you're so used to the cycle of abuse. But the flip side of this is understand that though he looks perfect to you, he too must have had some significant emotional trauma growing up. That's why he's attracted to you and has to fix you, and you fit with his pathology too, which is okay. I mean, that's where he's at, but you have to realize he is not as perfect as he appears. That's a compensation for something.
He can't be that great. He's into you. Thank you, Drew.
Well, I didn't mean it that way.
But I know you did.
I began to float up and away from my body.
Lady, you better get back here. If you're not here when LoveLine returns, they're gonna be pissed.
Float.
Suck on this.
LoveLine.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
WEBN.
Hello, my name's Dickie Barrett.
My name's Joe Gittleman.
We're in the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and you're listening to LoveLine
with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yes. My favorite band. All right. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Drew is on the commode. as we were haggling out in the hall, and I told him to go to the bathroom, and he said, this is more important, and look at him, he's back now. All right, so let's go right to the phones. Gabe, 16. And Drew, what's going on with this console, by the way?
Sorry, I ran into it. Oh, you know what it is? These new wonderful chairs get stuck under
Oh, is that what keeps jacking it up? All right, Gabe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time caller, long time listener.
Beautiful, man.
Okay, Drew, the other week I think Alec Baldwin was on the show.
Stephen Baldwin.
Oh, whoever. Okay. And you were talking about smoking cigars.
Right.
And you said that you smoke cigars.
I have.
Well,
I humbly submit. I have a bad habit. It's not even a habit. Because
hold on. That's a euphemism for oral sex, Gabe. He's never had a lit cigar in his mouth a day in his life.
Well, you've always been a really positive role model to me, Drew, because my mom's a single mom, and I've grown up with her all my life. And
this is good.
You've been a great role model, but now that I know you smoke cigars, it's just kind of like...
Right. There's no God.
Exactly.
You might as well get a kilo of heroin and Black Sabbath CD and lock yourself in a room with a pistol.
So why do you smoke cigars, Drew?
He's smoking one now.
I smoke about once a month, and I do. When I first started smoking, believe it or not, if you know how much denial physicians can have, we literally did not accept that there was a significant health risk with the smoking cigars. And it's, if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, you realize that it is still tobacco. It is still getting into your mouth. It still increases the risk, certainly, of mouth and tongue cancer.
Well, it's denial, Drew.
Yeah, it is denial. And we don't know the impact on heart and peripheral vascular disease, that sort of thing, because a fair amount of nicotine gets into your system. Doesn't cause lung cancer, doesn't cause the pulmonary problems, because you're not getting it into your lungs.
How about making this the first step? How about you reaching out?
I could
trying to get a little help right now. Yeah, that's what we hear all night long.
We're going to start a new 12-step group, CA.
Yeah,
I'll go.
Are you still in denial, Drew?
I must be.
Did you hear?
The environment is creating consequences.
Well, he says he could stop at any time. He just chooses to pollute his body with the carcinogens.
Right.
All right, listen. Here's the situation, Gabe. And let me defend you for a second here, Drew. Quiet. Drew, if you notice, now he was in a very tough situation because when Stephen Baldwin, I don't know where these celebrities have these like Cuban connections and stuff. I don't know. These guys must make a ton of money or something, but they're pulling out. Listen, if I spent $35 for a cigar, I wouldn't let my dying grandfather have a puff off of it. I might puff it and like blow it into his face, and even then I'd want $5. He's handing these things out. We've had these guys. I was with Bobcat once. And, here, take this cigar. It's a Cohiba or something. It's $25. I was like, that's like me smoking my wallet. I don't know. I don't like cigars enough. Here, smoke it. The point is he pulled these things out, and Drew was just licking his chops because Drew enjoys a good cigar. And let me tell you something, everybody. Nothing in moderation, with the exception of, crack and heroin, is going to do you in. Believe me, we all have bigger health risks. Hell, just the environment. Just living, I swear to God, I think just living in L.A. is tantamount to smoking a pack of Tiparillos a week.
Yeah, they say sometimes.
All right, so listen. But
Drew,
don't run from your past, Drew.
No,
please, enough with the denial. Shut his mic off, Engineer Mike. He's denying too much.
I was going to reveal some more.
No. Here's what I wanted to say. The pleasure that Drew gets from enjoying a finely rolled cigar on occasion does him much more good than the actual smoke that he's taking in is doing him harm. Drew's a guy who needs to relax every once in a while. He needs to unwind. Stress is a killer. It's been proven. Keep his mic off, Engineer Mike. A guy like Drew cannot relax. The man does nothing but work, wrangle the kids, and make love to his beautiful wife, who I wish I was with right now. So, when a guy like Drew has a glass of sherry or a cigar, it's actually a good thing. You're probably adding years to your life by the relaxation and the enjoyment you get from that. You hear me?
I hear you. I can't respond to you, but I hear you.
All right. Leave his mic off. I like doing the show this way. Just sort of speaking for Drew. Drew, why don't you we'll talk to John. John, 20?
Hey.
Hey.
I have a question for Drew.
All right. Well, Drew's mic's off, but he'll tell me. Go ahead.
Okay, basically I have a question. I'm 20 years old, and since I was 16, I've been smoking marijuana probably on an average once a week.
That's all right. Drew smokes cigars, you know.
Yeah, I understand. And my question really pertains to acid and mushrooms. I've probably experimented with acid 4 to 5 times in my life, and I've experimented with mushrooms 9 or 10 times in my life. And basically the question I have is that I have stopped using acid because I'm kind of afraid of the side effects it'll cause in the long-term usage. So basically my question is there that big of a difference between the effects of mushrooms and the effects of acid, as in a risk to my body?
All right, hold on a second, John. Drew, what do you think?
I'd like to use this mic.
You just tell me. I'll tell him.
We don't really know for sure.
We don't know for sure, Drew says.
Mushrooms are weaker.
Mushrooms are weaker.
And I've never seen any significant long-term effects from them. We expect to see them.
All right. He says that he's jonesing for cigars so badly that he can't talk right now. No, he says, Drew says that they've never done any real extensive tests on the mushrooms. People apparently don't get hooked on these things. They don't do enough of them, and they don't have any good data on them. It has been
But we expect to see some long-term effects.
Yeah.
LSD is clearly worse. Clearly. Your thinking on this is fairly clear, John. The problem is you're still taking pretty substantial risks.
I know people have taken mushrooms a handful of times, and then people take LSD 100 times, and they've had mushrooms 6 times.
Right, which is bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah. But and the people do you still know the people that used 100 times acid?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it changes people substantially. It just changes their brain. It changes who they are.
All right. Don't
but listen, now that my mic's working again, it's not. I don't think it's good if our listeners over-idealize me. I really want to be seen as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Not a deity like me.
Yeah, I would rather not be.
Or they just want to touch the hem of my shorts.
No, really. I mean, I think that if I become over-idealized, I'm not approachable enough. I mean, they've got to understand I'm not trying to be an authority figure in this environment. I'm trying to just show you, call it the way I see it. I mean, if you could just see what I see, the way I see it, this would all make sense to you, what I'm saying.
Drew puts his pants on one leg at a time, even if they're the Dockers with the pleats, the elastic pleats in them. He still puts them on one leg at a time. Is that what you're saying, Drew?
That's what I'm saying.
Uh-oh. What's up with this phone?
No, you just did that one.
What'd I do?
I haven't gotten ahead to
Oh, well, come on. Stay with the show here, Drew. Jamie, 15.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm back.
Where were you?
Huh? I was on the air like Monday or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, that's way too fast to turn around. We need another call.
Well, what's he calling about?
Oh, okay. Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hello.
All right, what's your question?
Well, I just wanted to kind of tell you guys something. I got on the internet, and I found something that's cool, and cybering is cool, and I just want to say that. And I've heard you guys knock it a lot. So
wait, are you sniffing your toenail polish or something, Jamie? We never knock that. We just say, look, if you're going to date, go out with someone from your high school, and don't hook up with someone in Mississippi when you're living in Cleveland at 15. That's the only thing we say.
No, it wasn't like that. It was like the sex thing.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is that what you called to talk about?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm hanging up on you now.
Can I say hi to somebody, please?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, Drew, sell the hell out of the next call, please.
Here's Laura's, whose girlfriend blew him off on Valentine's Day, and now she wants to get back. Imagine that.
Why don't you try rapping at this time?
Yo, kick some flavor and stuff in LoveLine. I'll be right back in a minute.
Oh, yeah, right there. It's LoveLine on WEBN.
Hey, this is Mike Piazza of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you're listening to LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
Yeah. Hey, this is LoveLine. And someone was just asking me, when is Mike Piazza going to be back on the radio show? And I was saying to my buddy, the 33-year-old guy who plays in the over 30 baseball league, who I call it the over 200-pound league. He calls it the over 30 league, but it's really the same league. But the point is what about Piazza? What about some Dodgers or some Kings or something like that? And I was saying to him, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong here, Anno, the Piazza's been on the show a couple times. He's kind of due to come back, but these organizations, they have standards, and they don't like their guys like going on shows like this and talking about banging groupies in the hotel. And I think they get a pretty good warning about it, because we've had guys from the Kings, we've had guys from the Dodgers, and they always sidestep that, even though you know that stuff is rampant in the sports world. I mean, you know, you're 25 years old, you're good looking, you make $10 million a year, you're single. And every place you go on the road, there is a group of women waiting for you back at the hotel. You know stuff goes on. But organizations have, sports organizations, which is kind of weird, have an ethics thing. The Dodgers, a lot of tradition and all that. The Kings, that's the thing that cracks me up. These guys, for a living, they skate around and beat the crap out of each other with sticks. And remember when we had the Kings on a year or so ago? They're very uptight. It's like, listen, when you guys aren't smacking the puck, you're beating the crap out of each other. That's what you do. This is hockey, for Christ's sake.
I just try to get some football players. I thought, okay, it's before the season. You know, they're not really doing anything. I try to get Orlando Pace and Danny Warfel.
Right.
And first of all, they don't do anything for under like $20,000.
Sure, because they got those agents that get them. Orlando Pace, he's like this 350-pound offensive tackle. He actually had an agent while he was still in his mother's womb. That guy actually, a thin Jewish guy, crawled up his mother's vagina with some contracts and worked it all out. Yes, Ann?
Something like that.
Yes.
And then they just didn't do these kind of things.
Right.
So.
And it's kind of weird that sports, of all things in our society, is the one that's so worried about their image. And the reason they're so worried about their image is because they got a ton of misogynist drug users who they employ.
Well, interesting you say the misogyny. There was an article, I think it was the LA or the New York Times today, about the athletic marriage, that these women are subconsciously attracted to these extraordinary male figures who are supposed to rescue them from their abusive lives, and really what these guys end up being are misogynist abusers themselves. And these marriages, aka e.g. O.J. Simpson as an example, these marriages end up very abusive and very dysfunctional.
Yes, I absolutely, and I just think it's bizarre that these people who are put on display to do athletic endeavors, that there's this whole moral code that that their teams try to put on them or impose on them, which is bizarre. Bands certainly don't have that. They come in here already drunk. All right. Yeah, Piazza is a real nice guy, and all that being said, it'd still be great to have him back on. Lars, 15.
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up, Lars?
So anyway, my question. I was going out with this girl, and right before Valentine's Day, and she just I sent her flowers on Valentine's Day and stuff, and then all of a sudden she just started to stop talking to me. And she had her friends call me and tell me that she didn't want anything to do with me anymore, right?
Oh.
Okay, and so one of her friends I kept talking to, she's like my friend, just like normal friend. And I was talking to her today, and the person that I went out with was over at her house. And she was like coming on to me and saying that she thought I was cute and all that. And so I think she wants to get back together. I don't know what to do.
Wait a minute, was it a friend coming on to you?
No, the girl that broke up.
No.
Oh, but you're at the friend's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't know why she blew you off the first time?
No.
But she seems like she wants to get back with you.
Yeah.
And what do you mean back together? How long did you go out?
Probably about a month.
All right, so 2.5 weeks?
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, okay. And what kind of relationship did you have? Was it a physical relationship?
We just went out and did stuff and
nothing
fun.
Nothing physical?
No, not really.
Did you kiss?
Yeah.
How did you feel about her?
With your tongue and stuff?
Yeah.
How did you feel about her?
I liked her.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah.
You tell her you really liked her?
I didn't really like her, but I liked her.
Okay.
Did you like her or did you like her?
I liked her.
Oh, you liked her.
Did you scare her off with that?
No. I wasn't clinging or anything.
Okay.
You weren't.
Okay.
All right.
I think I was.
Do you think she got hooked up with another guy?
Probably not. I talked because her friend that I still talk to said that she didn't or anything. She just stopped talking to me.
What was her reason for doing that?
She didn't give me one.
What did the friend say?
She didn't give me one either.
Did you not ask?
I
This
asked
sounds a
many
little.
times. They wouldn't tell me.
I mean, so you called her up and said, hey, we've been going out for 2.5 weeks. I got you a lovely bouquet from the supermarket, albeit, but a bouquet nonetheless.
No, this was a 50. I spent $50.
Oh, that was your mistake.
Yeah, I know.
$50, and that's a lot of lawn mowing for you, Lars. You don't make $50 in like 6 months, do you?
No.
No. Okay. Hey, do you get allowance?
Yeah.
What do you get for allowance?
It's based on my homework. So
Really?
I get up to $20.
Are you really?
Well, I don't do my homework.
All right, but if you did your homework, would you get 20 a week?
Yeah.
What if I did my homework? You think your dad would pitch in?
I don't know. Why don't you come over to my house and we can kick and maybe he'll give you some money.
That's cool. Me and Lars hanging out, doing homework.
You don't have to do homework. It's just like,
I don't have to?
no.
No, I'm handy.
I'll do all the homework.
All right, you do the homework. I'll talk to Dad about you, Lars.
Okay, so what should I do?
All right, I don't necessarily trust this girl. If she wants to get back, if she's sincere, if that's her intention, then play it cool. Play cool, Lars, and let her get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty shifty. She didn't call and break up with him herself. She had her friends do it. It just all sounds kind of...
Lars may have been like Angie Babe, living in a world of make-believe.
Maybe. That's right.
You know that song, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Jeremy, 18.
Hi.
Jeremy.
Yeah. My problem, man, I've been getting into this music and kind of getting into the freak scene a little bit. And
what's the freak scene?
Like
Marilyn Manson
and stuff like that.
I gotta get into that. I gotta get into a scene.
And
I'm looking to get into the nap scene. Do you know anybody who could get me in?
Nah.
All right, you're not part of the whole nap thing?
Nah.
Well, Jeremy,
get into that.
you sound awfully depressed. What's the deal?
I've been watching Marilyn Manson. He wants to kill himself.
Yeah, but
now.
he's depressed beforehand. What's the deal? Why are you so depressed?
Well, my parents, they come down on me real hard and stuff.
About what?
Like a couple nights ago, I came home and I've been wearing, not a whole lot, but every once in a while I'll wear like some black eyeliner, some black lipstick or something. And I came home, I guess I didn't wash all my eyeliner off before I came home. And my dad started coming down on me real hard.
What's your, what, was it his eyeliner or something?
No.
But obviously you were depressed before that.
Well, wait a minute. What's your dad do?
Like his job?
Yeah.
He's a mechanic.
Oh, that is the mechanic's nightmare with the son sporting the lipstick and the eyeliner.
But there's probably a reason that he's acting out in that way, right? The wife would particularly choose the perfect nightmare for his father.
Are you trying to have your dad drink himself to death, Jeremy?
No.
Okay.
Did your dad hit you when you were younger?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's going on here. I mean, I was reading some stuff the other day. I forget what historians, I forget what I was reading, but it was really going on about how amazing it is that we as a society still cannot evolve beyond striking children, even though we know damn well that every child that is struck, I don't care how inconsequential it seems, is damaged by that. We know that. I mean, to give a small tap if a child endangers themselves running out of a car or something is reasonable. To get their attention, to show them, absolutely. But to hit, I was at an amusement park this week and I watched somebody just smack a child because he stepped out of line. I mean, really, just
literally stepped out of the line.
He stepped,
or he got out of line.
No, he like stepped under a rail. I mean, like normal kid stuff, just with putting his head under a rail. And this guy just backhanded this kid. Now, this kid is Jeremy in 6 years. It was a 6 or 7-year-old.
Right.
And and also listen loud and clear, parents. These are the kids that then also get into. I know what I was reading. I was reading some psychology.
I wish I read. I can only come back with. I saw some pictures over the weekend.
But this is actually an old psychoanalytic text from like the 30s, and it was about S&M. And it was about that all these people, they tend to find each other and they tend to come out of these physically abusive parenting situations.
Right.
Oh, Jeremy, it's just, you got to find more productive ways to act this out. I mean, it's not about you. You are a worthwhile person. It's just you feel bad about yourself.
And here's what this is sounding like to me, Jeremy. I've seen these. I don't read like the lofty Drew over here with his books and whatnot, but I do watch a lot of TV. And once in a while, I see one of these things where these teenagers like kill some other teenager or something. It's always the same thing. I came from this town. They all sound like you, Jeremy, and next thing you know, he started to listen to Marilyn Manson and putting black lipstick on, and pow, the neighbor's kid was missing. You don't have any violent thoughts, do you, Jeremy?
No.
Good. You're just depressed.
Yeah.
All right.
My whole life I've been on probation and stuff ever since I was about like 10 to 12.
All right.
Started out getting in trouble, and I've been on probation my whole life, and I'm on probation now, and I just got out of jail about a month and a half ago.
All right. So, Jeremy, listen to us, because we both know. Here's what you got to do. Nothing. You got to stop just acting and just start relaxing and getting into whatever you get into as an adult on this planet. Stop acting out.
Find a way to...
Forget the scene, Jeremy. Screw the scene. Let me tell you what the scene is. The scene is you making Marilyn Manson rich, you making the guys who make the T-shirts rich, you guys making the mascara company rich. That's what the scene is, Jeremy. Why don't you get into your own scene instead of getting into someone else's scene?
And that scene should be to do things to make yourself actually become productive and feel better about yourself and get away from your family, ultimately. Right?
Me and my girlfriend, we got a bank account started because we're trying to save up enough money for a deposit to get our own apartment.
There you go.
Good.
There you go.
Don't have kids.
But we have to wait until she's until the 25th.
Well, look,
she turns 18.
25th of what?
Of June.
No, that's nothing.
3 weeks away. I mean, the other thing you need to do is learn to delay gratification. Is just learn to plan for things in the future. And the future may be 5 years away, not 3 weeks away, and build towards those things.
Oh, that is the only thing you need to know. That is what separates the winners from the losers in this society. Believe me, the winners who are 18 say, by the time I'm 22, I'll be doing this, and I'll just put all my energy into it, so by the time I'm that age, there'll be a big payoff. And the losers go... I know I gave up pot yesterday, but I'm going down to the park to score because I need some now.
And the reason I can't get the job is because I was the most productive guy in the world, but my boss didn't like me.
All right, that's your own little narcissism thing you're bringing in, Drew. That's your baggage.
I hurt you today, didn't I? I hurt your feelings.
No, you didn't, Drew. I'm not done talking to you.
People of Earth, we were going to help you. Yeah, we were. But you don't need our help. No, you don't. You have LoveLine, and you're a bunch of sickos.
This is Mission Control. LoveLine will be right back.
We're the G-spot on your radio dial.
Oh, yeah, right there.
LoveLine on 102.7.
Oh.
WEBN, Cincinnati.
Problems with your love life, and we do it better than anybody.
Hey,
But no
Jackie.
bagels.
No bagels. Jackie wanted bagels.
He was so mad. Remember that?
Yeah, it was really, Jackie Mason was really put off because we didn't have, he couldn't nosh at 10:45 at night. Hey, Jackie, eat some goddamn dinner before you come to the station. How's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I miss TV, too. All right. What the hell time is it? All right, we'll be back in 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on
Radio
Station.
We're the G-spot on your radio dial.
Oh, yeah, right there.
LoveLine on 102.7.
Oh.
WEBN, Cincinnati.
Oh, yes. It is LoveLine. This hour brought to you by Mountain Dew, the world's greatest liquid. Now, I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. The phone number, 1-800-LFEE-191. Fax number, 310-854-4455. And it's back to the phones we go. Jared, 20.
Yes. I've been going on with this girl for 2.5 years now. And recently, within the last month, I was at a party. And I ended up going home with another girl. My girlfriend wasn't there. And I went home with her. And we were both were pretty drunk and we didn't know what was going on, and we ended up having unprotected sex.
You didn't know what was going on?
No, I was pretty wasted.
What'd you think you were doing? You just fallen into like a liver container or something? I mean, what'd you think happened?
I don't know. I guess the shots of Jägermeister took over.
Listen. I've been loaded. I've been so. I threw up in an ice maker in a Tijuana restaurant. I defy anyone to find me more loaded, and then passed out in the alley behind the restaurant and got woken up by a cop's nightstick. I still knew what I was doing. I knew I vomited in the ice maker. I knew I made a mental note to keep my eye on the cop who was about 100 yards away, and then somehow he was right on top of me with his nightstick. But all right, I may have slipped up a little there, but I can tell you what was going on.
All right.
So
well,
don't use that as an excuse, Joe.
I kind of knew what was going on, but
of course you did.
The alcohol, of course, I wasn't talking with my brain.
Well, you knew what was going on, you just didn't care. That's what alcohol does.
Yeah. All right, and we proceeded, and we ended up having sex, and the girl called me Friday night, and she said she took a home pregnancy test, and she's pregnant.
Oh, great.
And she has a doctor's appointment later on this week.
And what did she want you to do?
She wants me to take care of the kid, of course. And my girlfriend...
Well, that's not fair. You were drunk and didn't know what was going on.
That's kind of what I thought, too.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend, right now, we've been going on for almost 2.5 years, and she doesn't know what happened. And I don't know how I can break it to her, unless she's listening now.
Well,
what's her name?
Maya.
And what makes you... How do you imagine you're going to handle this?
Hopefully she doesn't break up with me, because I love her very much.
Oh, he does think she's listening. So this girl said that she wants to have the kid?
Yes, she did.
And in this conversation where she called you, and you've not spoken with her until this call about the pregnancy?
No, I didn't.
How'd you get your number?
It's in the phone book.
Drew don't buy this. Drew, why don't you buy this?
There's no feeling here. He's so detached.
Well, of course.
And also
he's a guy.
And also the comment that the girl just, of course, she wants me to take care of the kid. That's not where the conversations go. The first time somebody calls you to tell you they're pregnant.
Well,
you're not talking about the kid then. You're talking about the pregnancy.
Well, we talked for about three hours about it, and the first hour she didn't say anything about the pregnancy.
What were you talking about for 3 hours? For the first hour?
Well, she was...
Hey, how about them Timberwolves, eh?
What was the first hour conversation about?
I don't know. We were just talking about what we've been doing for the last couple weeks since we've seen each other, and we were talking about Edge Fest and how we miss Adam Carolla.
Yeah, see, this is...
Drew. Drew had the bogosity. Hey, Jared.
Yes.
All right, so this is a bogus call, right?
No, it isn't.
Oh, it isn't?
I wish it was.
Well, I'll tell you, Drew had the thumb down.
Oh.
All right, so Jared.
Yes.
Let's just say you actually did what you did. That's fine. Listen, if you did do it, fine. If you didn't do it, it's all right because someone else did, and so they're probably listening. This is what happens when you screw around. This is what happens when you get loaded and don't put a condom on. And I would try to talk this girl into abortion or adoption. But if she ain't into either one of those two options, then you're going to have to be at least financially supportive. You don't have to have a relationship with her. Hopefully you'll have something with the child. And as far as your girlfriend goes, throw yourself on the mercy of her court. That's about all you can do.
Those are really your options. And how the cards may fall will determine what you do. And that was a bogus call.
Really?
Yeah, it was a bogus call. I could just feel it.
Drew, your bogosity meter was pegged.
Yeah.
Jim, 18.
Hi.
I knew that guy's from Minnesota, too.
About.
Yes, I got some udder bomb.
I was going to boot.
Jim? Yeah. Well, I'm, really promiscuous, and I think is because... I always hear Drew talking about, when you're molested, you got either you're promiscuous or you're totally away from sex.
And I was just wondering, is there any way to like stop? Because it's kind of like an addiction. Like,
Are you gay?
no,
Really?
really.
Well, when you say promiscuous, you mean, what do you mean?
Like, I sleep around a lot.
With who?
Girls that I know.
Yeah. You're 18?
Yeah.
Okay. So no problem.
No, wait.
Well, that's all 18-year-old guys do. They strive for.
Well, I understand that, but he for some reason this is a compulsion for him, and it's hurting him. Is there alcoholism in your family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any momentum with drugs?
Well, not really. I mean, I messed around with marijuana about a year ago, but
you're not doing anything regularly.
alcohol.
How many women would you say you've sexed down in the last year?
In the last year, about 9 or 10.
9 or 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a solid year, but that's doesn't make a sex addict out of you.
Well, I didn't say I was a sex addict. I just, like, it's too much for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, who were these women? All one-night stands?
Pretty much, like, weekends type.
No, you didn't want to have sex with them?
Well, I did. See, that's the thing.
So you felt compelled to?
No. It's like, that's like all I go for now. It's like...
No, you didn't feel compelled, though.
Huh?
Yeah, Jim, I mean, if you are disturbed by your behavior and if you've got bad feelings, you're hurting, go get some professional help for this. I mean, it's not as though there's some magic potion or some magic cantation we can produce tonight that's gonna change your behavior. I mean, it takes a lot of work to change these things. Who abused you when you were a kid?
My stepdad.
For how long?
Well, just one night, because, without getting too graphic, I had fingernails, like long fingernails, not like Lee press-on type long, but fairly long. And, you know, I tried to stop him. He started bleeding. He stopped. Left.
Well, how old were you?
I was in, like, 4th grade.
Why were your nails so long?
Just, I don't know. I've always been hanging around with Asian kids, you know, like Cambodian and everything, and it's like, just like a thing that they do.
I think this is more than just the abuse, frankly, Jim. I mean, you know, obviously he was sounds like a pretty violent guy, the stepdad. And where was your real dad?
My real dad?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even think my stepmom knew where he was, because he was...
Your stepmom?
Yeah, my real dad's wife at that time, or at this time too, but, I mean...
See, I need a chalkboard. This was your stepdad who tried to abuse you.
Hit with a chalkboard.
Meaning he was with his biological mom at that time, and yet you were never with your parents when they were together.
My real parents?
Yeah.
Together? No, because my dad left when I was like 2 months.
Yeah, see.
All right.
It's just a whole big mess.
All right. Jim, whatever advice we gave the last caller, do the same thing, but more. That's going to be my new angle on the show, by the way, Drew. Remember what I said last hour? Yeah. Same, but double up.
Why don't you just have sort of codes for your particular responses?
Yeah, that's right.
1A.
No, that was 2B. That was like a 2A.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to list, and then we can just send out everyone a list. And like 1A can be stop blaming your parents. And like 2B could be like get out of the family, go off to college. 3C, we could just work a whole thing, and then people could just reference.
Yeah.
And they could have a little reference thing.
Think how many calls we can go through.
Stuck on the phone, we do thousands of calls
we
a
just
night.
go with 1A, 3C, 4-7, 4G. That's
right.
it.
And then once in a while we could do a compounder. Well, that's a 1A with like a sprinkling of a G7.
Right. And just match them up.
Right.
It's a whole series of them.
That's awesome, Drew. We got to get into this. All right. Listen. Stop having kids, all you effed up people. Listen. If you're not going to be there, if you're the only contact you're going to have with the kid is your hand slapping his ass, don't have the effing kid. Jesus Christ, these people need to be locked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm so PO'd at these.
Here's the deal.
Don't turn this back on me.
No, I'm not going to, but it's the level of denial people have about how screwed up their own psyches are. The people that hit kids, What do people say when we talk to people who hit kids?
It's good for him.
Or
it was done to me, so it worked on me.
And I'm great.
Look
and
at
I'm
me.
Fine. Yeah, I'm great.
Listen, I was hit. Yeah. Now I'm beating the ass out of my kid, so look how it worked.
Yeah, and people are in such denial about how screwed up they are. It really is the real problem. People just look honestly at themselves, and I don't know, and their real feelings about who they are and what they've been through.
All right, so
they'd be less likely to perpetrate this against kids.
Jim, if you feel like you're having too much sex, if you feel you're compulsive and you're acting out, then back off and just contain your impulses. That's it, everybody. This is what separates us from the raccoons.
Yes.
You understand?
Oh, yes.
Animals sniff another animal's urine on a mailbox post and they pee on it. They can't help it. Their penis just goes, I'm peeing. Us as humans, here's the goal as a human, to see the busty woman on rollerblades and not sexually assault her right there on the boardwalk. To be compelled to punch one of your buddies because you had too much Jägermeister, but not actually do it.
Yeah, I have
this is what separates us, Drew.
Yeah. I was just flashing on that kid was molested and murdered, I guess, in Las Vegas.
Right.
Come on. And one of his friends saw him do it. Or saw him start to do it.
Right.
I'm getting out of here.
No, yes. I don't want to get popped.
Oh, jeez.
I'm liable to have my permit taken away.
I always thought commission and omission were the same thing in this country. If you participate in any way or omit to stop something, it's the same thing.
No, and what's up with that kid? He's 18 years old. He decides to find himself a nice 7-year-old girl to rape and then kill. I mean, where do you get that impulse? What must happen? And by the way, what do you do with a guy like that, Drew? I mean, listen, do you just go, hey, when do you admit things are broken? You know what I mean? It's like when do you just demolish the old building and build from the ground up? I believe we got to treat people just like we treat a car. It's like if you got yourself a 72 Impala and the engine blows and you pull him to the mechanic and he goes, look, it's going to cost you $1,700 for the engine, but the car's only worth $450. Then you scrap it. I think we got to start scrapping people.
You are a scary person, but
thank you, Drew.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone. Yeah. Steve, 25.
Yes. Are you there?
Yeah. No.
Oh, well, thank you.
Don't confuse
I have a
it.
question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a problem. I was married to this girl a couple of years ago, and now I'm back with my ex-girlfriend. I still have a lot of feelings for my ex-wife now, and I'm wondering what I should do.
Did she dump you?
No, I dumped her.
Really?
Why?
It was pretty much just a sex thing.
What does that mean?
Just my ex-wife. It was like I was going out with the girl that I'm back with now, and then the other girl came into the whole thing, and it was just a sex thing.
Listen, goofball. Why did you dump your wife? Because you were getting it on with some other girl?
Well, I was talking to Dr. Drew, but thanks, Adam. But
what do you mean it was a sex thing?
Is that I was really in love with the other woman, but then the sex with my wife, it just got old, you know.
This guy is an asshole.
And now
please, Drew, let him speak.
Came into the situation again, and now I don't know what to do.
All right. Well, you don't deserve your wife back.
Well, I don't want her back.
Well, what do you want to do with her?
What is your question?
Pretty much just a sex thing, you know, but...
You're going to have to use more descriptive language that I can understand.
He's going to use, like, hanging or something. It's going to be his next one.
Well,
say that, by the way?
Well, you want me to use descriptive language, I can use that, but I don't think it could get played on the air.
I'm not saying explicit language.
Hold on a second. Are you allowed to say the TT word? What the hell is wrong with this society, by the way? How come you can say boob?
Because George Carlin.
No, Drew.
Yes.
Please. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, I do
with
know
that
what I'm
crap.
talking about.
But, listen.
He made up those words, and they took him to a congressional hearing and agreed those would be the words that people can't say. I swear to God, that is how it happened.
All right.
Am I right?
Yes.
Mike's a radio professional. He's the only one in this room. Is that what happened?
Hey, please. That is a slight to producer Ann.
Although we get away with the P word now.
The penis?
P-I word.
What's that? P-I? A piss. You can say.
Hey. Piss. Yeah, listen.
But is it not the case that that's how those words were arrived at?
It backfired.
Right. He came up with those words. He made them up. And Congress brought him to Capitol Hill and said, at a hearing, and they made the law.
Story. But okay. So you can say jugs. You can say hooters. You can say melons. You can say mams, Winnebagos, Golden Globes, cans, gazongas, whatever you want to say. But you can't say tit. Is that what you're saying? All right. I say screw that. Let's just say tit. Can we say it? Screw it. I'm saying it. Please, that doesn't mean anything. I will fight that in court. Bring them on. This is ridiculous, Drew. It's another slang word. Oh, for Christ's sake. It's a cuter word than it's less derogatory than all those other ones.
Yes, it's true.
It is the most friendly of the
really,
best words.
Tit for tat, it's one of the easier words to say, too.
All right.
You mean to get by with saying? Yes.
Yeah, isn't it derived from teat?
Yes.
I don't know how this country works. I can't figure out why we want to take a stand here and not take a stand there. What is going on? I know I'd get fired before it got this far.
It is.
But I swear to God, I could go to Supreme Court with this and win it easily.
Yeah.
The problem is my son would have to carry the torch because I would have gotten fired a million years before that.
It is that we are basically out of a Protestant, actually, ethic in which everything was sort of up for question. And
where do we pick? Where do we make our stand?
I mean, that's the point. We draw the lines in the sands pretty arbitrarily.
The word is derived from teat.
Yeah. Well, at that time in 1972 or whatever it was,
the Bible's talking about like suckling the teeth of humanity and stuff, isn't it? Oh, for Christ's sake, that's just disgusting. All right, who were we talking to, Drew?
Steve.
Well, what was Steve's problem?
He really wouldn't tell us.
Screw Steve. I've had enough of Steve with his sex problem. Sex.
I couldn't figure it out.
Hey, he wants his ex-wife.
He doesn't want her. He
was hanging with his wife. Then he got rid of his wife to go out with one of his old girlfriends, and now he just wants to have sex.
No, the wife's coming back, but I wouldn't have her back.
No, he wants to have sex with her, though.
No, because it was no good. That's why he left her in the first place.
No, I think he says he wants to have sex with her. Steve?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Do you want to have sex with...
You guys are all confused.
That's correct.
Well, yeah, why is that?
Okay, well, the ex-wife was better than the girlfriend, but I have a son by the girlfriend.
Oh. And why did you leave your ex-wife?
It was because it was nothing but sexual. I left my girlfriend, who I have a son by, to get married? My wife, just because of the sex. And now I realize that was a mistake. Now I'm back with my ex-girlfriend.
With whom you have a child.
Now the ex-wife is starting to come back into it and everything, and I'm just totally confused.
So you are drawn in by the physical.
Oh, definitely.
All right. Well, I think you've.
There's something I want to say to Adam.
Listen.
About the ex-wife that he would understand, but I don't think I can say it on the air.
Well, clean it up and say it.
Well, something is really, really tight, and it just feels too good to pass up as far as the girlfriend.
All right, but she's your ex-wife.
Yeah. We're separated.
All right. Well, you let it go once, but let me try something out on you here, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on right now? What do you do for a living?
I work at the marina.
What do you do?
I'm a mechanic on boats at the marina.
Okay. And you life all right? Drive a nice car? Have a nice house?
Definitely. I make plenty of money. That's not a problem.
Okay. And you get along with your current girl. What about your kid in the equation here, Steve?
I mean, my relationship as far as my kid is great.
How old is the kid?
As far as my 4 years old. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You're a little nervous. That's fine. All right, listen. You're an all right guy, Steve. It's your penis that's really the culprit here.
Oh, definitely.
All right, but listen. Stop doing what you want to do all the time. And stop acting on impulse. It's going to kill you. Believe me, I've yet to meet a person that just acted on impulse who has a good life right now.
Yeah.
It's funny. You spend your whole life doing exactly what you think you want to do, but you don't end up having anything. This is what Christ was saying, by the way. I was listening to religious radio the entire day.
You are going to play it here, aren't you?
Yes. All right. Forget the ex-wife. Stay with the girlfriend.
Yes.
And concentrate on the kid and work.
Finish the divorce. All right. Finish the divorce. Build a family with this present girlfriend. Your preoccupation with the feeling of the actual physical act that is so transparent and so unreal. It's not what reality. It's not what gratification is built on in reality.
All right, and forget the Steve plan. That's a bad plan. All right, Drew, sell the hell out of the next call.
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Here's LoveLine before deworming. Here's LoveLine after getting fixed. Here's LoveLine chewing out its stitches. Here's LoveLine dragging its butt across the carpet. Bad LoveLine. Bad LoveLine. LoveLine has been bad, and we'll be right back.
It's not hard to swallow. We've got a frog in our throat.
Lick it up.
It's LoveLine.
WEBN.
We got to turn snacking into a effing smoke. All right. That was one of my slip-ups on the air, which Dickie from the Boss Tones is immortalized in the form of a picture. You looking at it, Drew?
Yeah, where is it?
It's right over there. He's a great cartoonist, and he just grabbed a piece of notebook paper and reeled out a guy with a lot of eyebrows and funky hair and
nappy teeth. Who would that guy be?
I don't have nappy
Oh, excuse me,
teeth.
big teeth.
Thank you, Drew. Please get it right. And then the F word is coming out of a big bubble in my mouth. All right, I got to learn to contain myself. It's LoveLine, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew, and Angel, 21.
Yeah, hi. I'm just calling. I had a question about oral sex. When I first got together with my fiance for like the first month or so, I kind of like made a big deal out about wanting to do that to him because we had talked about it and he said that he enjoyed it. And, you know, it took me about a month or so in order to bring him to that point where, you know, that, I'm not sure what word to use, that,
Or he was willing to participate?
No, where it...
oral sex for you?
No, me performing oral sex on him. Where, you know, I mean, I did it, and, like, for a long time, it wasn't, you know, he wasn't getting off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then he did, and then after he did, it's just like, ever since then, I've just kind of, like, not really wanted to do it.
Why did it take you a month to get him?
I guess because, well, it was like when we first got together, you know, we got together, and it was like sex wasn't a put-on-hold thing. You know,
it was put on hold.
No, it wasn't. We didn't put it on hold. We didn't wait before we had sex.
I see. Well, that explains it, doesn't it, Drew?
No.
Well, wait a minute. Well, hold on, Drew. Don't you hear straight? I asked Angel why she had waited a month to give her boyfriend oral pleasure, or why it had taken him a month to give in to oral pleasure. And she said that sex wasn't a put-on-hold thing when they first started going out, and that they immediately started in with sex. Doesn't you see?
My head just exploded. And by the way, she said they started having oral sex right away. It just took him a month to actually get a climax.
Oh, is that what happened? Angel?
Yeah.
It took him a month to have a climax?
Yeah.
It wasn't a month to actually, for you to perform it.
Right.
I see.
And then after that happened, after he
Was that were you continually going down on him for the entire month?
No, not continually.
He didn't have to quit his job or anything.
It was like until I did it, until he actually climaxed. I didn't feel right, and
Really?
I didn't feel like I was.
Right.
I felt bad about myself.
Well, what happened? What was the difference after a month? You spit out the gum or something? What happened?
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure on his part, why it took that long for the actual event itself to arise. But it was just like my problem is with it now is since that actual event has taken place, I just we argue about it because he wants me to do it, and I just don't want to do it. In the beginning, I know I probably didn't really want to do it, but I only did it out of pleasuring him, wanting to pleasure him, and now it's like I really don't want to do it.
What are your feelings like for the relationship?
What are my feelings for the relationship?
Yeah.
I enjoy being with him, and I'm pregnant by him.
Oh my gosh. Does it have anything to do with the mood changes that are associated with pregnancy?
No, this happened before I got pregnant, that I started having these feelings about not wanting to do that.
Does he pleasure you sufficiently?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to do it, don't do it. I mean, what I understand.
But he has a problem with that, and I'm not sure how to handle that, how to talk to him
But you just don't want to do it, not because you don't like it, but because you're scared you're not going to get the response that you would like.
But see,
what if you knew?
So long.
All right. What if you knew that he was going to have a wonderful orgasm the next time you pleasured him orally? Would you be willing to do it?
Well, yeah.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it happened once, and then I did it again, and it's just like he didn't climax, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't get a guy's body, for one thing. I don't understand.
I don't get that either, quite honestly, and I'm a guy, but I can tell you that a lot of guys I've spoken to, because I do surveys when I'm not here on the air.
Let your people handle that stuff.
Well, I have my people do the survey, but they come back to me. That's why they're my people. And a lot of guys don't climax this way. I should say contrary to popular belief.
Well, he claims that's that's the most exciting thing for him when it comes to sex. That's like his favorite thing.
All right. Well, maybe it is, and maybe he just has a difficult time orgasming from that perspective. So here's what I would do. I would go ahead and do it, but just put a time limit on it. Do it for a few minutes and then get into the sex.
Okay.
All right. That way you can say you're doing it, and that way you can shut him up, and that way you don't have to, walk around and put yourself in traction the next day because you were down there for an hour and 45 minutes. Well, there's a compromise. Use the egg timer.
Something else is up there, but so be it.
Yeah, there was something going on there.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me ask Angel a question. Angel?
Yeah?
You ever into heroin?
No, never.
Uh-huh. All right.
There was an experience as a child with me and my uncle.
Abuse.
Yeah.
Had to do with oral stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a surprise.
Yeah.
All right, so you have an issue with it.
Yeah, well, and then there was my ex-husband, too.
All right.
My ex-husband.
Abusive, physically violent.
Why do we have to drag that out there?
The abuse situation with my ex-husband was all the way around. It was domestic.
Okay.
It was physical, mental, sexual.
All right. So, Angel, you I know, because you're 21 and you sound 45.
I'm a singer, and my voice is, really messed up.
All right, but
We're not talking about your voice.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, Angel, relax here for a minute. You have some serious issues with the sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And this is what's coming up. Now, don't argue with this guy over, oral sex.
The problem is this guy's
issues.
another abuser. This guy's another abuser. Another victimizer.
You sure?
Yeah. Another one.
Angel, does he abuse you?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't touch me. He doesn't do it. I mean, we talk. We try to talk, and usually.
You try and talk.
Well, actually, what we usually do is we found a better way of communication was to write letters back and forth to each other.
Oh, that's good.
As a form of communicating.
Do you
Giving up on talking?
Do you actually send them, or do you?
No, we give them to each other. It's just we found that the other person, it's easier to be listened to and be heard that way.
All right.
Both of us have been in past relationships where he was the victim as well.
He doesn't write you letters like I'm going to beat the crap out of you.
Oh no.
Okay.
This is just.
All right. Listen, but be good to your kid, please.
Well, I'll be good to both of them. I have a 3-year-old too.
Okay. Be better to the 3-year-old than you've been. All right, everyone, hurry, have kids. Don't worry, this nation will be right back up on its feet.
This is how. This is really how nations rise and fall. This is it. Nothing to do with military prowess, that sort of thing.
No.
That's what happens. The health,
politics, and all. It's nothing. It doesn't put a dent in it. We're going to raise the minimum wage, or we're going to. The feds are going to lower the income tax, or whatever. That's all water under the bridge. It has nothing to do with it.
This is it.
This is it.
How can this be a country of productivity with our population made up of people that are so disturbed?
That's a good point. Let's see. Paul.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Tell us something that's going to prevent Drew and myself from killing ourselves at the next break.
All right. Well, I'm having a problem with my girlfriend's family, and
well, that's reason enough to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So might as well wait till the next break, or like.
No. What are they doing?
All right. My girlfriend's father and his girlfriend are seeing each other at my fiance's or girlfriend's objection. And
all right, hold on a second, Paul.
All right.
All right. Now you are going to have to wait till the next break because I'm going to need 5 minutes just to sort this one out. Drew, did you get that?
Nothing.
You have no idea.
His girlfriend / fiance's father is seeing a girlfriend at his girlfriend, Paul's girlfriend's disapproval.
Is that it, Paul?
That's part of it.
Okay, well, hold on. I gotta rinse that around in my mouth before I spit it out, and then we'll come back and finish the rest of your problem off.
I want to say one more thing.
No.
Long time.
I know. Just hold on, Paul. Don't squeeze stuff in under the line. We'll be back. We'll get to you.
Ernie, the world's fastest drummer for LoveLine. Too high. When I'm not drumming, up a storm. What was the rest of it? LoveLine will be right back. If it's not, sue me or something.
Radio that keeps you up at night. It's LoveLine, only on WEBN.
Hi, this is Mike Ness from Social Distortion, and you're enduring the Love Line with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Loveline. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Boy, it's a Sunday, isn't it, Drew?
Yeah.
And we always come in here Sunday night and just wax psychologic, if that's a term. And I always get these weird, heavy calls, and I always go on these weird rants about humanity and stuff. And then by Thursday, it's, hey, show me your boobs. That means I'm gearing up for a good weekend of masturbation.
Jeez.
Paul, 22.
Yeah. The problem is that I'm having a situation with.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, there's a long list here, and basically all my friends and my family are telling me to bail on the entire lot and start all over new.
So it's a crazy family situation.
Yeah, basically.
And you're getting dragged into it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'm even being brought up on battery charges.
Did you hit somebody?
What it was is the girlfriend grabbed my fiancée, and I slapped her arm off, and she fell down on
this is
rear.
her dad's
girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you should stay away from this whole thing. If your girlfriend can't extricate herself sufficiently from it to keep you out of it, you got to get out. You have to get out.
Yeah, well, my whole family just telling me to quit on it.
Well, your family's right.
Her family, her dad, the girlfriend, your girlfriend, everyone sounds like a whack job to me, quite honestly. And here's the deal, Paul. This is why kids get so effed up, by the way. Your parents, you just think are your parents, and they love you, and they're going to do everything for you, and that's all you know of adults. And when they, beat you and verbally abuse you and molest you, then that's the world. The world is chock full of old people that smell like beer and molest you. That's all it is. And because I've had relationships where, like, I now look back on a lot of my relationships, and I think you can do this too, Drew. Just to be honest for a second here. You may look back on this marriage and say the same thing, but a lot of the people you went out with, they were nuts, man. I mean, they were screwed up. I mean, I've had a lot of girlfriends that I now, when I was in the vortex of it, and I was, plenty screwed up myself, but now that I look back on it.
You mean like your English stripper girl?
Right.
Yeah.
Lindsay. That's a good, yes, there's a fine example. I look back on that and I think to myself, and she's doing better now and all that kind of stuff. But
you are too.
Thank you, Drew.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I was just thinking about her today. She went to England.
Yeah.
And her head would explode. She came back now, see me driving a nice car and smelling of Aquavelva. She probably want me back. That's my long-term plan. But what I'm saying is when you're right in the middle of it, that is your world. And all you can do is try to solve the problems of your world.
Right.
But 5 years goes by and you get a little distance and you look back on it and you go, there's nothing I could have done.
Well, you grow away from that. You're a different person.
They were nuts. I was nuts. Yeah. There's no way that was going to happen.
Right.
This is why you shouldn't get married at 17 and a half,
right.
By the way.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, so we did nothing to answer his question except for this is all way too much chaos.
Yes.
Get out of this.
Yes.
Sandra.
Yes.
You're 26.
Yes, indeed. I have a question regarding amphetamine psychosis.
Right.
What can it do? Can it cause you to act like a completely different person?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because a friend of mine apparently has been diagnosed with this, and he apparently, I guess, attempted to molest his sister.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that would bring it out.
Well, hold on. Was she good looking? All right.
That is not something.
A little psychosis humor there, bro.
Very
Thank
funny.
you.
That's you had to get.
Hey, let me tell you something. I was telling Dickie about kid pedophile, and he was laughing his ass off.
Well, there was nothing. Nobody ever saw this coming, and there was nothing.
Look,
really
here's the deal. I have not seen that behavior from amphetamine psychosis. Here's what amphetamine psychosis is. It is the result of regular exposure to methamphetamine. It can be relatively short period of exposure. It's hard to predict how much speed you have to be exposed to before you get the psychosis.
Okay.
If you're using daily for more than a few months, you're going to get at least some, if not a full-blown psychosis. And the amphetamine psychosis is a gradual paranoia and preoccupation about the people near you, work, school, neighbors, family. And you become increasingly concerned that they're thinking about you, talking about you, and ultimately plotting against you. If you're using very large doses of speed, you'll eventually hallucinate that there are things actually trying to attack you that your family had put there. Todd Bridges, I remember if you remember that child actor, but he talks about it now publicly. He had a great example of amphetamine psychosis. He believed that his grandmother, he was seeing little green men run through the wall into his room, and he believed his grandmother had built a factory under his house to produce these little green men, and ultimately started firing guns at these people and went out into the street firing this gun around and was arrested for trying to kill people.
That was an episode of Different Strokes, wasn't it?
Right. It's different than a cocaine psychosis. Interesting. It's fascinating that cocaine would create such a different psychosis where people tend to isolate. They're alone. They go to their family and friends for relief, and they become totally preoccupied with uniformed officers. They're always alone in a dark room with the curtains closed, looking out and actually seeing uniformed officers out there. It's a very visual psychosis, and that psychosis goes away in about 12 to 48 hours, while an amphetamine psychosis can go on for up to 6 months. It's devastating to relationships, and people often become violent, but they don't usually act out sexually because they usually can't perform sexually when they're psychotic that way. Amphetamine suppresses sexual performance.
Jake, 17.
All right. Hey, I was just wanted to let everybody know that that males can be raped also, because I was raped
By females?
by females. By females. It sounds all weird and everything.
Yeah.
What happened was I met these chicks, you know, and I started partying with them, and I got all drunk and everything, and you know, and I puked in the toilet. I was all puking and everything, and I'm all passing out on their floor.
I know all about puking. I was puking all Saturday.
You have fun, though?
And Andy smokes pot.
Did have fun puking?
Yeah, ask how much pot smoked.
I was miserable. I was this close to calling you, Drew.
Really? That would have been weird.
I was trapped in my room.
Yeah.
I was puking so hard I actually went into the bar where it costs you $8 to get a V8. You know, the little room bar there.
Right.
Got the V8. Then puked up like $4 worth of it.
That was smart. All right, Jake, how much pot do you smoke?
How much pot do I smoke?
Yeah. Is that a pretty much daily thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll go daily. I'll go twice a day.
Did you hear the laugh?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, you got to be stoned to get raped by a woman.
What happened?
I wasn't smoking any though.
Yeah, but you were drunk.
I was way drunk. And they wanted me to lay down, you know, on their bed and everything. And
who's they? How many of them were there?
there was 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, and they let me lay down on their bed, and then I'm passed out. Next thing I know, you know, this chick comes in and she started, you know, slobbing on it, and I couldn't do anything because I was too weak.
Right. And did you spend like 3 hours in the tub trying to get clean the next day, Jake, because you'd felt so violated?
Yep.
Jake, you're not sharing a story of men being raped. You're talking. You're sharing your conquest of getting loaded and being attacked by these women.
Well, no, I mean, it screwed up all kinds of things. You know.
What happened?
First of all, I'm scared of diseases and everything.
All right.
I didn't know these chicks. And
I'll buy that. How many of them were there?
There was 2 of them.
2 of them, and. Geez, I may have run into these two ones. Did they, was it just oral stuff?
Yeah, well, some of it, I don't hardly even remember the thing.
Well, you didn't have sex, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Geez, I can barely perform sober. How all these guys, they're so liquored up, they don't even know where they are, yet they're just banging away and having an orgasm. I don't understand that. How do you have an orgasm when you're that loaded?
Easily.
Really?
Very easily.
Drew, is that easy?
For some guys.
All right, so did you press charges against the gals, Jake?
No, I never talked to them ever since. I mean...
What do they look like? That's the important question.
What do they look like?
Just
they were dogs.
What do I say again? Of course they were. That's why you feel violated. If the Barbie twins had gotten hold of you, it'd be a whole different story.
Well, yeah.
All right.
But I'm just saying. I mean, if I was aware of what was going on, nothing would have happened.
Right. All right. So the lesson that you can share with many other men, because this is epidemic at this point, men being double fellatio on drunken men.
Ugly cheeks houses.
All right. Thank you, Jake.
Look into your marijuana and alcohol.
I'm going out on a limb here and saying normally your spokesmodel type chicks, they don't rape, as a rule. As a rule. Although it does happen. I'm sure Tyra Banks is hooked up with Cindy Crawford on occasion or two, grabbed some unsuspecting young teen lad, liquored him up, and then forced oral favors upon him. Would you say that's a fair statement, Drew?
No.
Oh. Ryan.
Yeah, I got a problem. I started dating this girl about 6 weeks ago before prom, and actually that's kind of how I started dating her, is we decided to go to prom together, and I never really talked to her before, but she wasn't real liked by, anybody in school. She's kind of a social outcast, sort of, I guess. And so I kind of went out on a limb to go out with her. and we ended up going to prom, and we had a good time. And, we talked about it beforehand and just about what we do for prom. And we ended up going into this room where we rented, and we had sex. And after that, it totally changed everything. And my first question was, what are the consequences of having sex, kind of too prematurely in a relationship?
The young lady is going to become is now very attached to you. Very attached.
No.
No?
Exact opposite.
What happened?
Well, I see, like, after that happened, she just totally, well, she didn't ignore me, but things were different. She just kind of, she wanted time. She just kind of, like, slowly, it's like a slow breakup. Or
let me translate. I need time. I need a lifetime.
Yeah.
That's what time is. They don't tell you what the specific time is, but it's like 65, 70 years usually. That's my experience of I need time.
That's not the usual reaction at all.
Well, maybe they were horribly sexually incompatible.
How old is she?
She's 17.
Did she really want to go ahead with this?
From what you told me, yeah, but I kind of get the feeling that, I don't know.
Is she making you feel as though you had violated her or done something to her that she didn't want to do?
When I asked her about it, I was like, is this something that, I don't want to seem like I forced myself on you or anything. And she's like, well, no, I really had a good time too and stuff. It's just after that, it just kind of dissipated completely. Almost.
How would you rate the sex? Was it uncomfortable or was it all right?
It was all right. I experienced a good time.
Well, that's all that matters.
I don't know.
Had she been with other people before?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it wasn't as if you'd stolen her virginity away and then she was having some kind of reaction. It's a little peculiar, and it goes against Drew's norm, but I have met girls that were this way, and it may be that she sort of sampled from Ryan's buffet and didn't find anything she liked. This is perfectly possible. Or maybe she's like really screwed up and doesn't want to get intimate, or who the hell knows. But the point is whether it's a conscious or a subconscious thing that's controlling her, either way, you're screwed.
Yeah, that's true. It's more the latter.
Either
sure.
She's totally insane and doesn't want to be with you, or she's totally sane and doesn't want to be with you. All right, but so, Ryan, you got to move on.
Okay, well, I've pretty much gotten over with it, but I was just still kind of thinking about it and kind of, wondering what I could have done different.
I don't think you could have done anything differently.
Okay.
Yeah, just get her a bigger corsage next time. And
well, we made it kind of, we planned it out, and it was really romantic and stuff. And
all right.
I guess it just really...
Nothing you did, Ryan. You will live to love again. I'm sure of it.
LoveLine will be right back. LoveLine will be right back after we kill the singer.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed herein are not necessarily limo service for LoveLine guests provided by Fox Limousine. And it certainly wasn't for me, LoveLine producer Ann Wilkins.
This broadcast was copyright 1997 Westwood One Entertainment. This music is MXPX on Tooth and Nail Records.
Sit, Obo. Obo, stop dragging your butt across the carpet.